So let's get on to the explanation of the next function, which is the void MQTT connect, which is mainly involved in establishing MQTT connection between the device, that is our node MCU, with the LDR as well as the IBM cloud. So what this MQTT connect tells about, it's like if you find that there is no connection between the client and the IBM cloud, that is our device to the IBM cloud, then on the serial monitor the following will be printed: reconnecting to the MQTT client, right? Next, if you find that a connection is established, then you then you then you connect it with the help of the client ID that is specified at the top, which is org.messaging.ibmcloud.com. Next, you'll send it, you'll say that the method is by token, and you'll send the token. In this way, the node MCU is connected to the IBM cloud through these credentials. That is, whenever the node MCU is connected to the IBM cloud, then you will pass on these device credentials and you will see that the connection is established. That's what the void MQTT connect function is all about. Next, coming to void INIT manage device. This is one of the most important function. Here, let's just look at the function explanation. Like, this is mainly used for this subscribing. Only when the client subscribes, this INIT manage device function mainly plays a very important role. Like, firstly, whenever the client is subscribing to, whenever the client, whenever NodeMCU is ready to subscribe to the commands from NodeMCU, then you'll say that in the serial monitor, it will tell you that that subscribe to the response is okay. That means that the node MCU is ready to subscribe to the commands from the IBM cloud. Fine. This only happens when MQTT connection and Wi-Fi connection gets properly established and the node MCU is connected to the IBM cloud. That is, in the IBM cloud, we have our Watson IoT platform. That is where the data from the node MCU, that is the LDR data, will just get published onto the IBM Watson IoT platform. Fine. So where were we? We were in this, right? That is client.subscribe IoT DM1/response. This means that only when the client, that is our node MCU, is ready to subscribe, then only print that it is ready. Otherwise, print that the subscribing to the responses facility is failed. Next, I told you that as we have given up an interval for the MQTT connection to be established, which is around 30 seconds, only after 30 seconds it needs to reboot. So whenever the reboot phase comes, then you'll get this thing on your serial monitor, that is subscribe to reboot okay. That is after 30 seconds. This is the thing. If after rebooting still it's not connected, then you get subscribe to reboot is failed. Next, if there is any, if you have updated, if there's any update from the IBM cloud, that is you have changed something, then if that change is reciprocated by the node MCU also, then you say subscribe to update is okay. Otherwise you say subscribe to update is failed. Finally, we come to the place where the node MCU, if you give some command from the node MCU, that from the IBM cloud, sorry, that is from the IBM cloud UI, when you give a command, when that command comes here, when that command is received by the node MCU, it is under the topic subtopic, right? Whenever it receives such kind of a command and it is ready to receive, then you see that subscribe to subtopic is okay. Fine. Otherwise it fails. Next, let me just tell you what this big thing is all about, right? See, whenever you're sending data, what you in JSON, what you'll do is you'll send the data in form of a buffer. Fine. Here you are declaring a static JSON buffer of size 300. You are putting as you have seen uh, in the tutorial where I take an IBM IoT node, then I directly give it to a debug node. Once I look at the debug tab in the node RED, what I find is that the data is encapsulated, right? Like you have message dot payload in object, then you have D, then you have the respective quantities, right? That is the same thing that I'm doing here. That is, what I'm doing is I'm declaring a static JSON buffer of size 30. I'm storing it in root, and under root I'm storing it in D, and under metadata I'm putting the data. That's what it's all about. It's all about putting it, encapsulating it in JSON format. That's what this whole code is all about, right? I don't want to get into the depth. Next, as everything is stored inside the root, which is our main object, I'll just I'll just print what is the size and what is the buffer. Fine. Next, now we have finished the phase where we have subscribed. Now let's speak of the publish. What you see here is, if publishing is okay with the buffer is ready and the topic is ready, then you say device publish is okay. Otherwise, you say it's failed. Fine. This is all about the INIT managed device function, its definition and its scope. Finally, after the buffer is ready for the data to be stored and sent to the IBM cloud, we just start publishing the data, right? So the void publish data function is all about that. Here what you do is you send the data in the form of in the payload, and in the payload you specify a JSON format where, as we know the form payload plus is equal to. So firstly we'll encapsulate it in D. As I told you in node-RED, whenever you take an IBM IoT node and just connect it to a debug node and just deploy, you find it like message.payload.d dot something, right? The respective value. So that respective value is our sensor value here. Fine. That is what this is all about. And next you are printing that the payload is being sent. Fine. When the payload is being sent, its internal functionality is nothing but publishing the data, right? In MQTT, data publishing happens only when a pre-topic is defined and the topic is published topic. So what we write here is, if the topic is ready and if the string and the payload string is ready to be sent, then you print publish OK in the serial monitor. If the publish, if neither the device neither Wi-Fi connectivity fails, nor if MQTT connectivity fails, or assigning a buffer, encapsulating it in a JSON format, or the topic doesn't match, then what you do is you say publish failed, which means that the published topic is wrong or the data is not getting transmitted properly. It's not getting published from the NodeMCU to the IBM cloud. The final definition, the final two functions that are remaining is void callback function and handle update function. So first let us see the definition of the void callback function.